So, welcome back to our series of covering the 16 federal states of Germany, or Bundesländer as we call them in German. And today we have the state of Brandenburg, and I think let's just dive right in. Subscribe if you want to, leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah. So, Brandenburg, or Brandenburg, depends on which way you want to pronounce it, is located in the very east of Germany. It is, I think, probably the only federal state that is surrounding another state, in this case Berlin. And it's located at the very eastern side of Germany, in the northern east. Anyways, right next to Poland, and yeah, very important cities. The most important probably, and the capital is Potsdam. Other important cities you might know or have heard of, I don't know, but yeah. Frankfurt an der Oder, which is the second Frankfurt. I think probably you have heard of Frankfurt before, but I don't know if you know that there are two Frankfurts. And this is the Frankfurt an der Oder, which is located in the state of Brandenburg. Very much at the border to Poland. Cottbus is another city you might have heard of, and I think there is another one I may have missed. But yeah, Brandenburg an der Havel, and maybe Werder, which is here. But yeah, for now, it should be enough for you to know about the location. And yeah, so let's just dive right into the article, or the parts of the article about Brandenburg. This is the what's it called? I forgot the word. Wappen, it is called in German. Or you could say Flagge, which means flag. Coat of arms, it's called in English. I don't know if that's correct, but yeah. So this is the coat of arms, with this is an eagle or kind of phoenix-like figure, and this is very much belong to Brandenburg. So, Preußens Glanz und Babelsbergs Glamour, oder Glamour, maybe like derived from the word glamour in English, so it might be pronounced glamour in German, like the German English pronunciation. Die pulsierende Metropole Berlin schließt sich Brandenburg. Das dünn besiedelte Land im Nordosten durchziehen Wälder, Kanäle und rund 3000 Seen. Die Landeshauptstadt Potsdam glänzt mit dem Rokoko-Juwel Schloss Sanssouci. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sanssouci, ja. Vorzeigeprojekt ist die Europa-Universität Viadrina in Frankfurt an der Oder, in this case, an der seit 1991 Deutsche und Polen gemeinsam lernen. So, let's dive right in. Preußens Glanz und Babelsbergs Glamour. So, Preußen is a, what's it called? It was once a, I wouldn't say province, but like parts or even a state of Germany. Maybe let's just Google that very quick to show you what that means. Preußen. It used to be like an entire state covering like, I think, most of Germany. In this case, it's ein historischer Staat, der eine wichtige Rolle in der deutschen und europäischen Geschichte spielte, which means historic state or country, which played an important role in the European history. And here I would just want to show a picture. You can see like pictures of it, and that was Preußen. Like most of Poland, I guess, was covered. Like not covered, but was taken over by Preußen, I guess. And yeah. Preußens Glanz. Glanz means what's it called? Shine. Like not glimmer, what's it called? Glanz. Yeah, shine you could say. So the shine of Preußen, very metaphorical way of saying that, but like the best probably kind of. And Babelsbergs Glamour, I don't know if that is English or German. And Babelsberg seems to be a city, probably located in Brandenburg. Babelsberg. Let me just check. Yeah, seems to be a city. I personally have never heard of that, but yeah, it's a not necessarily a city, but like a part of Potsdam, apparently. And yeah, so Preußens Glanz und Babelsbergs Glamour, I don't know. So the shine of Preußen and the glamour of Babelsberg, so seems to be very, very important. Die pulsierende Metropole Berlin schließt sich Brandenburg. Die pulsierende Metropole, in this case means around, the pulsierende is a pulsating. Let me just check. And yeah, pulsating. In this case, feminine, die Metropole, feminine, but yeah, pulsierend would be the masculine form. Pulsierende Metropole, which means pulsating metropole. I think it's the same in English, if I'm not completely mistaken. I just always want to check that it's correct, so you get the best translation and best quality. So around the pulsating metropole of Berlin, there is no of in the sentence, but I think in English you not necessarily have to say that but I don't know if you say around the pulsating metropole Berlin. Anyways, you get what I mean. Schließt sich Brandenburg. Schließt sich Brandenburg. Schließt derives from the word schließen, which means closing. Schließen, just to write that here once again and show you. Yeah, closing. But in this case, schließen etwas Berlin schließen. So you wouldn't say in English close around Berlin, but this means to basically surround Berlin. Sich etwas schließen, to kind of close it off as the frame, you could say, but yeah, I think you know what I mean. But schließt sich Brandenburg, so Brandenburg is the kind of frame for Berlin, it surrounds Berlin. So, die pulsierende Metropole Berlin schließt sich Brandenburg. So, you can't necessarily translate that to surround something would be probably the best way to translate that. So, surrounding, not necessarily word by word, the pulsating metropole Berlin, you can't necessarily translate that below. The closer would be Brandenburg is surrounding the pulsating metropole Berlin. Anyways, that was a long try to what's it called? Zusammenfassen. To summarize that translation. Anyways. Das dünn besiedelte Land im Nordosten durchziehen Wälder, Kanäle und rund 3000 Seen. Das dünn besiedelte Land, the thin, in this case thinly, because this is another adjective. Das dünn, the thinly, besiedelt means, what's it called? Be inhabited, I guess? Besiedelt. Populated, yeah. So that people live there. Populated, the thinly in English, populated land. In this case, you would have to say state, or because of the federal state, because it's referring to this federal state, which is not a country, but yeah, a state. The thinly populated state im Nordosten, in dem, im Nordosten, northeast, durchziehen Wälder. Durchziehen means pull through, durch means through, ziehen means pull, and durchziehen Wälder means word by word pull, Wälder means forest, so the forests pull through this thinly populated state in the northeast, but in this case this is also another like metaphoric, you could say saying or something, a phrase. Wälder durchziehen etwas means woods or forests, like they are found all throughout this place, so they are large parts of something. Wälder durchziehen das dünn besiedelte Land im Nordosten. Das dünn besiedelte Land im Nordosten durchziehen Wälder. So, yeah, this just means the thinly populated country in the northeast is being, word by word, pulled through by forests, but this would mean largely populated or largely, inhabited. I don't know. I think you get what I mean by forests. Kanäle und rund 3000 Seen. So, canals and around about 3000 Seen. It's not the same as sea. Sea is an ocean rather. But that would be like another false friend translation, which is commonly found amongst German speakers, I guess. But Seen means, what's it called? Lake. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. So, das dünn besiedelte Land im Nordosten durchziehen. And that is, by the way, not related to that. That is the object. That could be confusing. But that is the subject that is doing that. Wälder, Kanäle und rund 3000 Seen, sie durchziehen das dünn besiedelte Land. So, the woods, canals, and around about 3000 lakes. They, word by word, pulled through, but cover the thinly populated state, you could say. And yeah, Wälder, forests, Kanäle, canals und rund 3000 Seen. Rund just means round, 3000 lakes. So yeah. Die Landeshauptstadt Potsdam glänzt mit dem Rokoko-Juwel Schloss Sanssouci. I don't know how you pronounce that. Maybe let's just Google that. That should be a already found that famous thing. Schloss Sanssouci or Sanssouci, maybe. I don't know. Maybe seems to be French. It's located, I think, right in Potsdam, yeah. Sommerresidenz means summer, is it called residency? Sommerresidenz. Yeah, residence, so place to stay. Yeah. Sanssouci, I'm just gonna pronounce it Sanssouci for now. So, die Landeshauptstadt, the country, in this case, countries, because it's a genitive case. The capital, Hauptstadt, means capital, main city, capital. In German, that would be word by word main city, and that means we call it main city rather than capital, so yeah. So the state's capital, Potsdam, glänzt means like shines, or is there another word? It's just, in general, just shines. So, yeah. Shines mit dem Rokoko-Juwel Schloss Sanssouci. So, the state's capital, Potsdam, shines with the Rokoko-Juwel, which means, Juwel means like a diamond. Is there another word? Because diamond is very a specific form of a jewel. Do you say jewel? Yeah, I think you do. And Rococo is, I don't know if you know, but it is a certain type of architecture. Maybe I can show you so that you also learn something. Maybe if you don't know in terms of content of this video. Rococo. Yeah, Kunstrichtung means art type or art direction, word by word, but that just means a type of art. Kunst- und Stilrichtung des 18. Jahrhunderts. So art and style direction, but that means kind of style of the 18th century. Rococo Architektur. That means architecture. It's always written in not like with capital letters, but that's basically wrong. But yeah, Architektur, and that looks like that or something with these windows. That's, I think, very typical. Is there another picture? Yeah, maybe this. I think you get what I mean if you look at more pictures, but yeah, this like, I don't know, it has some sort of a, to me, French touch, but yeah. So, die Landeshauptstadt Potsdam glänzt mit dem Rokoko-Juwelschloss Sanssouci. The capital of the state, Potsdam, Potsdam, yeah, as the city, shines with the jewel or rococo jewel. I don't know if you call that in English this way. Rococo jewel, interesting. Schloss Sanssouci. Schloss can either mean a lock to, lock something, or in this case it means a castle, I guess. There's some difference between, I think isn't it also in English? Burg? Yeah, it's a castle. And Schloss is also a castle. Yeah, there is a difference in German between the word Schloss and Burg, because a Schloss is ein Schloss is rather something, rather with an, what's it called, more advanced, more stylistic touch. This, if it was a bit bigger, and it would be a Schloss, which is in English castle, and a Burg is more like the raw, almost like a is it called ruins? Ruine. Yeah, kind of like a ruin type of, like, with more, what's it called? Gröbere architecture. Gröbere. Coarser architecture. Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Like, it's more that you would maybe still call a Schloss, just to explain that. And for example, Burg. Yeah, I mean, there is not necessarily such a difference, but there's maybe more of a Burg because, like, the stones are more, it's in general more coarse, I guess, but like rougher architecture. But I think in general you can probably use it like for anything. What's it called? There's a word in English I'm missing out on it, like into something, but you can use it for either one of the two. But in general, I think Schloss is more like the architectural kind of word for that. So Schloss Sanssouci, because if you'd say like Burg Sanssouci, you would also not like assume that someone is living there, because a burg is a lot of times it is related to like ruins, and that is the leftovers of the Middle Ages, basically. Anyways, that was a long explanation. Let's just keep on going and summarize this sentence. Die Landeshauptstadt Potsdam glänzt mit dem Rokoko-Juwel Schloss Sanssouci. The state's capital, Potsdam, shines with the Rococo jewel Castle Sanssouci, or Sanssouci Castle, I guess in English. Vorzeigeprojekt ist die Europa-Universität Viadrina in Frankfurt an der Oder, Frankfurt/Oder, oder Frankfurt/Oder. In German you would say, yeah. And, but that just means Frankfurt an der Oder. An der seit 1991 Deutsche und Polen gemeinsam lernen. Vorzeigeprojekt means, would you say that? Which way? Showing, like, Vorzeigeprojekt. Vorzeigen means to show something, like if someone is demanding a document of you, you would use that like ich zeige mein Dokument vor. I'm showing you my document. Ich zeige mein Dokument vor. I show my document. Yeah, that's just the basic translation. But Vorzeigeprojekt in this case, it means like to show something like right in front of to someone to have a look at. You know, the vor is just to express. This prefix is to express that. Vor just in general means it means in front of something or someone, and Vorzeige means to show to you, show off to you, kind of, not like necessarily off, but like that you look at it. And Vorzeigeprojekt in this case, this has a slightly different meaning, not necessarily slightly, but yeah. Vorzeige means to be the best of something, like that you are able to show it. In this case, vorzeigen in German, there are slight differences because of the prefixes. Because Zeigeprojekt would just mean to show someone, and Vorzeige, even though there is no such a word as Vorzeigeprojekt, as Zeigeprojekt, excuse me, because yeah. But Vorzeige is just like you are able to show something to someone because it's so great. And in this case, Vorzeigeprojekt, yeah. I explained that probably multiple times without the last few seconds. That is something that is the best to be shown. Like there is also the word Vorzeigeschüler. You can use Vorzeige probably with any object or person to express that it's the best of something. Yeah, Vorzeigeschüler, for example, is the model student. You could say model, basically. Why did I need to explain that for like 5 minutes and always explain the same? Because that just means, model project, but not like, that wouldn't necessarily translate to the right thing, but I guess you know what I mean with the explanation I just gave you. So it is the best and something you can show off kind of to someone or show off with. So Vorzeigeprojekt, let's just translate that by Google, with Google, and see what showcase, that's just what you could say. Showcase project. Ist die Europa-Universität, is the Europe University Viadrina in Frankfurt an der Oder. Viadrina, that's just the name, I guess. In Frankfurt an der Oder, it's the same in English. An der seit 1991 Deutsche und Polen gemeinsam lernen. At which since 1991, an der seit 1991 Deutsche und Polen, Germans and Polish people. Don't be confused, this is the same as the state of, or the country of Poland in English, Polen in German. Oh god, I'm confusing the languages. Gemeinsam lernen, together learn, so word by word that would mean. Showcase project is the Europe University Viadrina in Frankfurt an der Oder, at which since 1991 Germans and Polish people together learn, so I guess you can probably already guess what that means. The Showcase project is the Europe University in Viadrina in Frankfurt an der Oder, at which Polish people and Germans have been or have learned, I don't know. Anyways, they learn or have been learning there since 1991. And now let's get into the Daten und Fakten part, so data and facts. Bevölkerung, which means population, 2,57 Millionen, 2.57 million people in this case. Landeshauptstadt, the federal state's capital. In the general, Landes means country, or of the country, but in this case, of course, the federal state's capital. Potsdam. Die Größe, which means size, 29.486 Quadratkilometer. 29,486 square kilometers, of course. Bruttoinlandsprodukt, which means gross domestic product. We went through that in the last few episodes, and yeah, as you know, I'm not quite interested in explaining it because I don't have a freaking clue. And not a clue, but you know. Don't need to get into that. In Millionen Euro, in million euros, 2024, 97.5, of course, German. 2024, 97.540, Platz 11. So, gross domestic product in million euros, in Millionen Euro, 2024, 2024. 97.540, 97,450 euros, I guess. So 11th place on the list of 16 federal states. The 16. Bruttoinlandsprodukt pro Kopf in Euro 2024, 37.774, Platz 13. So gross domestic product per head in Euro 2024, 37,774, 13th place on the list. And yeah, so by the way, I forgot to mention in million euros, that would be in German 97 Milliarden, because billion, that means billion, Milliarden means billion, so that would be 540 million, so not 97 billion and 540 million, so 79 Milliarden und 540 Millionen, yeah. And einzigartig, which means special or one of a kind. Beherbergt im Potsdamer Stadtteil Babelsberg Deutschlands wichtigstes Filmstudio. Hier wurde auch Babylon Berlin gedreht. So special, beherbergt is a very, what's it called? I would say kind of visual word, but anyways, I'm just going to explain it. It means, to, what's it called? I'm just going to let it translate because I'm not finding the right word. Accommodate, yeah. I hope that's the right word, but that just means to have somebody or something inside of you, but as a speaking as a location, as a like a house. Ich beherberge, I don't know, einen Laden, so that means there is a shop like inside of me, speaking as a location, as a house or something. Ich beherberge, you could also use that for people, so ich beherberge einen Mann or einen Obdachlosen. That would mean I kind of care for, but like I have somebody in my house, but like in terms of they live there and I care for them. And Obdachloser means homeless. So yeah, beherbergt, so that means, in this case I guess accommodates. Im Potsdamer Stadtteil Babelsberg, which we already kind of discovered was a city, part of the city of Potsdam, so yeah, let's just read that. No, we did that already. So it's in accommodating in the Potsdamer Stadtteil means city part, Teil means part, Stadt means city, with a T at the end, of course. So in the Potsdamer city parts, would you say in English? City, Stadtteil, district, yeah, district. Babelsberg, which is a district of Potsdam. Deutschlands wichtigstes Filmstudio. Germany's most important, so the superlative, I don't know, form of wichtig, which translates to important in English. Filmstudio, which is film studio, as you can probably guess. So it's like Brandenburg owns, you could say owns in this case, in the Potsdamer in the Potsdam, I don't know, like located in Potsdam in the city district of Babelsberg, Germany's most important film studio. Hier wurde auch Babylon Berlin gedreht. He was being also Babylon Berlin, which is a TV series or film. I'm not quite sure. I've heard of that, but just gonna Google it for the showing purposes. This is the cover. Interesting. 2017 drama. Yeah, seems to be a series. Ist eine deutsche Kriminalfernsehserie, die seit 2017 von X-Filme Creative Pool in Koproduktion mit ARD, Digeto Sky und Beta Film produziert. So, is it still going? 40 episodes. That means that is a German criminal TV series that since 2017 has been producing episodes, you could say, with 4 seasons. Staffeln means seasons. In co-production with ARD, which is one of the 2 main state-owned TV stations in Germany, has been producing these episodes of this, I would say, a rather popular series. I mean, I haven't watched it, but this is probably also for, like, I would say older people, not to kind of, what's it called, defamate it? I think you know what I mean. But yeah. Anyways, so this has been filmed there. Here was being also Babylon Berlin gedreht. That means to, like, the this is the second past form of drehen, which means turning. Let me just write that for you. Like to turn, but etwas drehen in terms of to turn something in terms of film and movies is always relating to to film something, basically. So hier wurde auch Babylon Berlin gedreht. Here was being also Babylon Berlin filmed, so Babylon Berlin was also being filmed there. Yeah. Sitze im Bundesrat, as we, I think, discussed in the last few episodes? But anyways, this is the, I think, second most important political organ next to the Parlament or Senate, the German, so the, what's it called? Bundestag. And this is the, what's it called? I'm just blanking on the words. The Vertretung, not substitution, representation, yeah. For the federal states, so the Bundesländer, and there it has 4 seats. And yeah, Sitze im Bundesrat, seats in the Bundesrat, of course, 4. Platz 1 im Ranking, Nutzung nachhaltiger Erdwärme, Geothermie. Place 1 in Ranking, Platz 1 im Ranking. Nutzung nachhaltiger Erdwärme, Geothermie. Usage, nachhaltig means word by word after holding, you could say, after holding, which basically means like lasting, holding on to, word by word holding on to, like later, but in this case it just means what's it called in terms of nature and nature conservation, nachhaltig, something sustainable, yeah, sustainable. And so usage of sustainable Erdwärme means it derives from the word Erde, which means the globe, the world, and Wärme, of course, means warmth or heat, and that means sustainable, what's it called, earth heat, warmth, I don't know, as a geothermal energy, yeah. This is not necessarily what I'm saying, translating to the direct, like there is no direct translation, Erdwärme, so it's geothermal energy. Geothermie, which is just the, I guess, scientific words to use for that, so yeah. So first place in the ranking, usage of sustainable geothermal energy. Platz 1 im Ranking, Nutzung nachhaltiger Erdwärme, Geothermie. Special fact in German, you would say that probably. Das Brandenburger Tor steht in Berlin. The Brandenburg, what's it called? Tor. The mean like kind of a door, what's it called? Tor. I'm just blanking on the word. Not goal. No, that is in terms of football or soccer, as they call it in America. Gate. Yeah. Brandenburger Tor. It's just. There is a Brandenburg Gate. Interesting. Didn't know that was called that way in English. So, special fact, the Brandenburg Gate, das Brandenburger Tor, steht in Berlin. Word by word stands in Berlin. So, special fact, the Brandenburg Gate stands in Berlin. Das wiederum komplett von Brandenburg umschlossen wird. That wiederum means again. You can't necessarily translate that in a comprehensible way, but like that in this case, on the other hand, probably that would mean that das wiederum komplett von Brandenburg umschlossen wird. That's, or like, this is just saying that it's kind of an opposite of something, wiederum, like another way around. Basically, that means word by word. Wieder means another time. Means around. Can also be a conjunction, but yeah. But wiederum means, yeah, another way around. Komplett von Brandenburg umschlossen wird. Completely of Brandenburg umschlossen. Here we have it again. Schließt sich So, umschließen means to, be surrounded by, or like surrounding something rather. So that you can't, I don't know, which way does Google translate that? I have a bit of difficulties translating that. Again, probably again is probably the better translation. That again is completely surrounded by Brandenburg. So, special fact, the Brandenburg Gate stands in Berlin, word by word. That again, completely off Brandenburg, closed off, or like surrounded in this case, is. So the Brandenburg Gate is located in Berlin. That again is completely surrounded by Brandenburg. Das Brandenburger Tor steht in Berlin, das wiederum komplett von Brandenburg umschlossen wird. And yeah, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, even though there were some pretty long and probably not necessarily necessary explanations, but yeah. That was it for today. Next episode we're gonna do Bremen. As always, leave a like, leave a comment if you want to. And thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye!